ilmenite inclusion.
Ilmenite?
Ilmenite.
Okay.
Ilmenite. Ilmenite.
You don't dot your I's.
What do you want me to do? The big circle on my eye, like
a heart. Do you
Well,
remember
a dot
that?
would be good, but it's just hard to tell the difference between your I's and your L's.
Oh, come on. The L's are taller. Ilmenite.
But did you do that when you were younger? You're like, heart over my eye.
It depends.
Nope,
if I was writing a boy's name, then yes.
You're like, I love you, heart.
Welcome to another episode of Gem Junkies. I'm Brecken.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we're here with Moonstone this week.
Yay.
It's exciting. It's June birthstone, one of the 3 June birthstones, you lucky ducks.
Yeah.
They really are lucky.
Yeah.
Pearl,
Moonstone.
always a classic, and Alexandrite.
Alexandrite.
Phenomenal month to be born in.
Yeah. And kind of all different price points. Yeah, I caught that. I was skipping over it because it was a dad joke.
It was a dad joke, but I did it on our Gems of Wisdom, so you just wait.
Okay.
Well, let me explain my dad joke. All the birthstones in June display some form of phenomenon, right?
Right.
So pearls have orient.
Orient.
Moonstone has adularescence.
Adularescence.
Whoever named that. And then I'll tell you later.
Has color change.
Yeah.
And then also Moonstone and Alexandrite can have cat's eye or asterism.
Yes.
So you've got all kinds of phenomena.
It's a world, like the world is your oyster if you're born in June. And it's a summer birthday, so you could do, like I have a fall birthday.
I have a winter birthday.
Yeah. I mean, summer birthdays are the best. Pool parties. Anyway, lucky June babies.
I guess we just need to, or we could live in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
And then I would have,
then
you'd have like a
suck.
spring birthday. You'd have a spring birthday and I'd have a summer birthday.
Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe we should just go to Australia for your birthday every year.
Yeah.
There you go.
New Zealand.
But we have been keeping busy.
Yes.
Even though there are no trade shows or anything for us to do, or we can't go see any of our friends anywhere.
Right.
I have an epic garden this year.
Epic.
My peonies.
Peonies. Let's say that correctly. You know that gets us
my peonies, which I always miss because I'm at JCK. I got to see this year, and they're absolutely beautiful. So positives.
And our rose bushes.
Rose bushes are gorgeous. Yeah. So anyway, good things happening. But on to Moonstone. Moonstone. Why is it called Moonstone? Do you know why? I know why.
Because
we all know why.
the adularescence looks like the moon shining on water. Yeah,
so in a lot of ancient cultures, not just, your ancient European cultures, but your Eastern, your ancient Chinese and Hindu, and your ancient European, all thought that it was some form of moon, moonbeams, it was frozen moon, all trapped in this gemstone, and that's how it got its name, Moonstone. And it gives you that visual effect of, I like to think of it, Jonathan, as moon shining through a thin veil of clouds.
Yeah.
And and that's caused by what Jonathan said, that very cool phenomenon known as adularescence.
Adularescence.
It is a difficult thing to say, but we are going to try to mumble our way through it today. And don't try to spell it. Don't ask me to spell it. I spelled it 5 different ways in my notes. So phonetically.
It's interesting.
But so what adularescence is it's seen as a billowy, soft light that makes the surface of a gemstone appear to glow. And so when you move the gemstone, that kind of misty light also appears to move and roll across the surface. So in order to figure out how gemstone displays this phenomenon, you have to tell us what Moonstone is.
What it is. Talk about it. So Moonstone is a variety of the species orthoclase, which is part of the feldspar mineral group. What's interesting about feldspar is it's the most common mineral on the Earth's crust. It actually makes up almost 60% of the Earth's crust.
Right. So I guess they say if you pick up a rock anywhere, it's going to have some feldspar in it.
Right. So you got a better than 50% chance.
Yeah. But the most famous, gem-worthy member of the feldspar group is Moonstone.
Is Moonstone for sure, which Moonstone is made up of 2 feldspar species, not just 1, but 2, which is orthoclase and albite. And then during formation, they're intermingled, so in layers. And so as the new gemstone cools, the layers of orthoclase and albite separate into stacked alternating layers.
Yeah, the thing that's crazy about these layers is they are 0.5 microns thin, which basically is similar to the size of a wavelength of light. And so 1 micron, I mean, just to kind of blow your mind here, 1 micron equals 1/100th of a, or no, 1/1000th of a millimeter.
It's very small.
Very small. So now we've got all these beautiful thin layers. We add some light, and when light falls between these layers, it scatters in many directions and causes the phenomenon that we know as adularescence.
Which in the trade a lot of time is just called the sheen.
The sheen.
The sheen.
I also like to think of it as our atmosphere.
Sure.
Right? So the sun's rays come through and get kind of diffused by the air particles. And so that's why our sky is blue.
Right. Even though it's not really blue.
Even though it's not really blue.
It's just a figment of your imagination.
It's just the adularescence of the sky.
Ooh.
I guess. Do you know where the name adularescence comes from?
I do not.
Adularescence is named from the word adularia, which is an old name for moonstone. Now, adularia itself, that name, comes from a city in Switzerland, Mount Adular, which is where one of the first sources of fine quality moonstone is from. So basically its name, adularescence, is basically a location name for one of the first sources of fine moonstones.
Yeah. So talk about fine moonstones. Let's talk about the quality factors. So moonstone can come in a lot of different colors. So everything from like peaches and pinks to browns to green. There was some green that was found at one point. Yeah, so there are a lot of different things.
Clear.
But considered the very best is considered colorless. Glassy, and either semi-transparent to completely transparent. No inclusions, which sometimes it has inclusions that look like
centipedes. Those things are nasty.
Centipedes, not the inclusions.
No.
The inclusions are actually kind of cool looking.
The inclusions look like centipedes. They're tension cracks.
Tension cracks, because when those layers come together, sometimes cracks a little and so forth. So, and then no inclusions, even though we think they're kind of cool. And then really good orientation of the adularescence or sheen. And so that electric blue shimmer is known to be is what most people really look for.
Mm-hmm. So one of the interesting things about moonstone is that it has 2 cleavage planes, right? Which means basically that the stone can just shear off if you put too much pressure on it. And not just one direction, but 2 directions. And that makes setting the gemstone really difficult.
And it's also fairly soft. 6
to 6.5 on the Mohs scale. So be careful setting it. Rings, questionable. No, you might have to replace it if it's a ring that you wear every day.
Right.
That's why you saw mostly in like Art Nouveau jewelry and that kind of stuff, it was in pendants, earrings, things like that, because it is a softer gemstone.
Well, and also you want to see it move too, and so it's
when it's on a neck, it's really nice, kind of that
neck or earrings, both.
The billowy, soft adularescence of the moonstone is perfect. So, in the trade, there are 2 different moonstones.
Right.
Okay.
But only one
true moonstone. So there's a moonstone and a rainbow moonstone. So now in 1986, in the rice fields of southern India, they discovered a new moonstone, and it can have a blue sheen or it can have a multicolored sheen, which hence the name rainbow moonstone. So these new moonstones or rainbow moonstones were chemically identified as labradorite, a labradorite feldspar, which is related, it's part of that feldspar group, to the orthoclase feldspar of the moonstone. The difference is really in how light interacts with these gemstones. So with your orthoclase, like Jonathan talked about, you build those layers up and the light scatters and diffuses, which gives you that soft billowy effect. Now in a labradorite feldspar, it comes in and it kind of reflects off of twinned planes. And so that breaks the light, which gives you those
diffraction.
Which gives you those spectral colors.
Right, like opal.
Like opal. It's very similar to opal. They're the only two gemstones that actually break light, labradorite and opal.
Right, but the difference with opal is it's small spheres. Mm-hmm. So your diffraction comes at all different angles, whereas with labradorite, it's when you look at it from one angle, you get the color, and the next angle it's black.
Yeah.
So you don't get it, since it's on planes rather than spheres, you don't get that soft moving play of color. It's more now you have it, now you don't.
Yeah. So with the rainbow moonstone or labradorite, which is what it actually is, you get those spectral colors, and that's what gives you the rainbow effect. It was also, when it first came out, called water opal. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
But when we learned it in GIA, they called it spectralite.
Right. Spectralite is another name for rainbow.
and not rainbow moonstone.
Right. Which we haven't talked about labradorite. So if you don't know what labradorite is, it's usually like a dark gray color, and the gray is caused by ilmenite inclusions.
Ilmenite. All these words.
Ilmenite is another type of
labradorite.
Feldspar. And so labradorite rainbow moonstone has no ilmenite inclusions and therefore looks milky or clear like orthoclase moonstone.
Yeah, and so now you can see where the confusion comes in.
Right.
You've got this clear gemstone that has adularescence in it.
Right.
But it's got kind of a rainbow, spectral colors of adularescence, and it looks like moonstone. So this is kind of where it comes from. But labradorite is a calcium-sodium feldspar. Orthoclase moonstone is a potassium-sodium feldspar. Labradorite has a higher refractive index. It also has a higher specific gravity. So these two stones, when gone through just simple gemological testing, are easily identified from one another.
But just looking at it with the naked eye, they look very similar.
Very similar.
So Moonstone really is a trade name anyway. It's because it's not, we don't call it orthoclase feldspar.
No.
So it doesn't really matter. You can still calling it Rainbow Moonstone is not wrong. It's just a trade. It's just a trade term.
It is. And to quote GIA, because I actually did look this up on the GIA website because I wanted to be super clear what GIA says because they are the foremost authority in all things. To be called a moonstone, a mineral's actual identity is not as important as the beauty of its adularescence. So they're okay with it as a trade name, basically. So everybody to your own. Call it Rainbow Moonstone, call it Moonstone. It's all feldspar, baby.
Yeah. And then as far as where they're found, you talked about southern India for the rainbow, where you do also find regular orthoclase moonstone as well, so for regular moonstone you get Sri Lanka, the southern India, and then also it's been found in Australia, Armenia, Mexico, Brazil, and even in the United States. Whereas the rainbow moonstone has really only been found in southern India and Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Yeah.
So did you know that moonstone is the state gemstone for Florida?
For Florida.
But it's
Why?
not found there. Because of the Kennedy Space Center and NASA.
Oh.
They adopted it in the 1970s because of all the...
Because it has the name
moon
Moon
landings and and so it is the state gemstone for Florida.
Interesting.
Anyway, let's talk about lore because moonstone, it can help everything and cure everything and fix everything. I guess that should just be...
Like all gemstones?
We're done with lore.
Do you have to eat them?
You put it in your mouth.
Okay,
so let's start with some different cultural beliefs here with moonstone. In ancient Chinese culture, moonstone was good luck because it was believed that the shimmering light within the gemstone was a powerful, good spirit that would protect and watch over you. So they actually believed that with several other gemstones. They think that with pearls too, because the Orient, and also with opal, that there's actually a good spirit trapped in there that will help you. throughout your life. In age-old Hindu mythology, it was believed that moonstones were solidified moonbeams. And this stone is such a sacred stone in India still that it can't be displayed unless it's displayed on yellow fabric, which is a very sacred color in the Hindu religion. And so, sacred color, sacred gemstone. According to other Hindu legends, moonstone can give the wearer the gifts of clairvoyance and prophecy, used to clear the mind and welcome wisdom. And you have to put a moonstone in your mouth during the full moon to get the full effects of that clairvoyance.
A moonstone in your mouth on a full moon.
Yep.
And you just wander about in the moonlight?
I would say maybe you
Try
meditate.
not to choke.
You don't move too much. Like, don't go running through a field. Just sit there and contemplate with a moonstone in your mouth on the full moon. We have a full moon. It's a strawberry full moon, isn't it?
It was really yellow yesterday.
Yeah, we have it's called a strawberry full moon coming up. So maybe put a rainbow moonstone in your mouth. I think it's tonight or tomorrow.
Wow.
So there you go.
There you go.
Let's do that.
We do have some.
We do have some. I don't know. Maybe it'll help with a clear mind. See the future when this COVID thing's going to end. But, okay, now on to ancient Rome.
Ancient Rome.
So we all know what the ancient Romans thought. Everything had to do with love. Everything helped with love and fertility because those people were into it. So moonstone can act as an aphrodisiac if worn by two people when the moon is high.
Okay.
So if two
Doesn't
people,
even have to be full, just high.
Just high.
Just
so
anytime.
If two people are
Anytime
walking
at night.
across the street, they both have moonstones on. The moon is high.
It's always high.
It's, we're in the mood for love in ancient Rome.
I guess so. Always.
There is also a spell that you can do in Roman times. Yes. So it's known as a lover's stone. So if you are seeking true love, the first step is to hold a moonstone in your hand during the full moon and envision your love coming to you, whoever that may be. Step 2, carry the stone with you until the next full moon for the spell to take effect. And then I'm guessing, it doesn't really go into what happens after, but I'm guessing your lover runs into your arms and you live happily ever after and have lots of babies or something like that.
I always wonder on these, these ancient lore things, is this just some random crazy person wrote it down and we all think that? Or did actually a lot of people do this?
I was thinking the same thing. I think a lot of people did this.
You think so? Lots of people went out in the field on a full moon with it in their mouth and meditated?
They didn't have Netflix, Jonathan.
I guess so.
There was no Tiger King back then.
But only really rich people.
They're out experimenting with gemstones.
I guess.
Why not? Another thing that I thought was interesting is they also believed that if you bury a gemstone in your garden, a moonstone. Not any gemstone. Not any gemstone, but a moonstone in your garden, you will have a very fertile garden because, i.e., lover's stone, fertility.
Aha.
Did you like
that?
Fertility.
She's on one today.
I guess. So another thing that I find so interesting, and it still kind of resonates as a lover's stone, this moonstone, that actually if two lovers, exchange a moonstone after a fight, it can help restore love and tranquility. Now, in my personal opinion, it doesn't just have to be a moonstone. If you give your girl a piece of jewelry after you get into a fight, she's going to be like, okay. Right?
Jewelry is good for getting out of the doghouse.
Jewelry is good for getting out of the doghouse. Now, moonstone might be better, maybe a little better, but all jewelry I think is good for getting out of the doghouse.
It enhances its power.
Yeah. Okay, another thing about moonstone, because we're not done. We're not done.
Wow.
It's known as the traveler's stone.
Oh.
Okay. It's worn to protect travelers at night. Obviously, get it, moonstone, protection at night. And it also is said to protect those traveling by sea or swimming. Because, get it, water, moonstone, kind of looks like
moon
on water. Okay.
Yeah, we get it.
Modern use, though. So this website I was on was giving me some modern uses of Moonstone and its use as a traveler's stone. So they suggest maybe you put it in your glove box of your car.
Okay.
For smooth driving and to prevent road rage.
Sorry. That's awesome.
So, I mean, maybe we should put a Moonstone in a car. Not that I rage a lot. There's nothing to rage at here in Pocatello.
Yeah, not much.
He's always on the road and be
Yeah.
like, it's going to hide right here.
I mean, the only people we have to rage at are the people that have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Like the old people in Pocatello, but that's it. And then, last but not least, skincare. Yeah, Moonstone.
Dude, they use it like a roller like they do with jade.
You know what? That actually wouldn't be a bad
sense.
idea.
I think you get big ones, though. That's the thing.
I mean,
Not
not the best quality.
No.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get labradorite that big.
Oh, yeah, labradorite for sure. Yeah, you
So.
could definitely make labradorite ones. You
There
have,
you-
like, what, rose quartz? Is
I
that
have
what
a
yours
rose
is?
quartz face roller.
Yeah.
But anyway, on to skincare. Since the moon renews itself every month, right? It's always a new moon, full moon, waxing, waning. It's said that Moonstone can help the wearers retain or regain a more youthful appearance because it's always renewing itself. So the skin would hence always renew itself. There you go. So you can maintain that youthful appearance. Everyone invest in a Moonstone for all your skin care and road rage needs. Jonathan will definitely be getting one for his car. I think the twins road rage more than we do.
Yeah. Like on the way down to Utah last time, they kept telling me how slow of a driver I was.
Yeah. Daddy, you're going too slow. Everybody's
Speed limit's
passing you.
80.
Yeah.
Well, they are a little aggressive. That's what we need to do. Send everyone in Utah a Moonstone. The road rage there is insane.
You can just get it for your family.
Just for my family. They are aggressive drivers. So anyway, Mom, you're getting a Moonstone.
She would be very happy.
She would be very happy.
She probably wouldn't keep it in her glove box.
She wouldn't
though.
keep it in the glove box.
She'd turn into jewelry immediately,
Yeah.
probably.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Gem Junkies. We had fun on Moonstone, didn't we?
Yep.
It's not something that we typically do. It's not a gemstone that we typically carry. Although I've been interested in it.
For sure.
It's just one more thing.
One more. So.
One more thing. I will have a Moonstone, though. That will happen.
It's on my list.
I'm going to have a rainbow Moonstone and an orthoclase Moonstone.
There you
Both. Just to have
Just
them.
so you have them.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
think
a
so.
specimen.
No.
Oh.
I want to wear them. That's me. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gem Junkies. I'm Brecken.
And I'm Jonathan.
And if you want to learn more about what we do, you can always check us out on Instagram or Facebook at Parlay Gems. About this podcast, Stephanie's done something really cool. She's transcribed a lot of them for YouTube now.
Yes.
So you can listen to our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and now YouTube. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and say hi to us. All right, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.